It's always an exciting time of the year when you start seeing the tomatoes forming on your beloved favorite varieties of tomato plants. And sometimes you wish you had more, but you didn't plan ahead to plant extras or start more. But you can still do that by taking what are called suckers. And those are the shoots that emerge from the plant between the main stem and the side limbs. And all you need to do is cut that off or break it off. They snap off pretty easily, and then stick those in some good soil. But this is the first step to take the cutting or break the cutting off from what's called the sucker. Now, whenever I'm in the garden, I always have my scissors with me. Clean cuts with sharp scissors are always safer than snapping them off, even though these suckers will easily snap off. It's safer with scissors. So the next thing I want to do is look at this and just make this ready to go into the pot. And this little side branch right here is going to get in the way, so I can cut that off, and I can also cut that one off. And this is what I'm going to stick into the soil. And the soil is the other very important part of this. You want to have really good, well-draining soil. I use Soil Cube. That's composted soil regionally available to me in the Southeast. But this is ideal for so many reasons. It's just good in every way. The texture, the drainage, the water retention capacity here. So I'm putting in some really good soil, and I'm going to go ahead and finger tap that in and tamp it around the stem all the way up to the top of the container. But this has got some nice low levels of NPK. You don't want too much there. Now you have to get this watered in quickly. You just took it from the plant. It needs a water supply. So just gently water that in until it's good and saturated. And once it is, and this is really taking in the water nicely. Now, rather than just planting it directly into soil, you could take this cutting and put it into a glass of water, and it will root out in about 10 days. But it will also root out right in the soil, and roots that form and root out in the soil are going to establish much faster in the ground. And that's why I like to do it in the soil. But now that it's nice and watered and you can see it dripping out the bottom, I want to get this in some shade. I also want to make a tag first before I forget. Okay, the date, the name, tag is in, going into shade. I'm putting it into some shade for about 10 days, and then it should be rooted out enough to plant into the soil. But that way I'm going to have an exact duplicate of the plant I took the sucker from, and more of our favorite tomatoes all the way into the fall.